Alright, this cucumber profile is going to be on a variety called Pearl. And this cucumber obviously is not real green. There's very little green in the cucumber itself when it's mature. This is about the size, about as big as you'd want one to get. It's between 6 and 8 inches, which is about the ideal range. Now what I'm going to do something a little unique. I'm going to compare this cucumber to a very common, very typical green, this is a sweet slice hybrid, which is a very common cucumber. And as you can see, the difference between the two is quite vast. Both of these cucumbers were picked today, alright? And they're both relatively about the same size. Alright, and I'm going to do a comparison and talk about these a little bit. Let's just go ahead and dig right in. I'm going to cut this guy down the middle. They're both nice and firm. Okay, there's quite a few, as you can see, quite a bit of seed. Alright. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to eliminate this, get rid of a lot of these seeds, and get down to the actual cucumber here. The spoon's a great way to do this. You could definitely eat the seeds if you want. I mean, it's not going to hurt you that much. And as a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and say, with these cucumbers, the skin is so thin and so light that you don't really need to peel these cucumbers. It's one of those varieties where you wouldn't actually really need to even peel it if you didn't want to. But I will say that peeling it is still an option in what I do. Okay, so there's half your cucumber. This Pearl is the name of it. Let's compare it. Let me get some of this out of the way. Let's compare it to a very common, probably the most grown cucumber of all time, as far as a slicing cucumber, and that's the sweet slice. As you can see, a lot less seeds. Alright, let's go ahead and, I don't have to go near as deep or as heavy to get the seeds out of this thing. Alright, there's a comparison. Alright, now I'll go ahead and tell you that this Pearl cucumber is one prolific growing cucumber. It blows this cucumber out of the water in my garden. I have 2 plants of this and I have 2 plants of this. I'm picking half a dozen every other day of this Pearl cucumber right now. And we've had extreme heat and humidity. It's been a really hot season. And these guys just keep plugging and plugging and plugging away. I mean, there is just no slowing them down. This cucumber, on the other hand, has been very sluggish as far as how many it puts out. But I did notice that when we did have a little bit of some cool down weather and some rain and whatnot over about a 3-day period, these guys really started to kick in. So we can't pick enough of these. We've given them to all our neighbors, family. We've ate all we can. I've tried to pickle them. I've made cucumber salads. It makes a good cucumber salad, but it's a terrible pickling cucumber, and I'll tell you why. It just doesn't have the depth of flavor of this type of cucumber. This almost has a cucumber flavor. I mean, there's no doubt it has good flavor, and it has almost a melon, you know, a honeydew melon type of flavor to it a little bit. It's much lighter in flavor. It makes a terrible pickle, though. We've tried to pickle cucumbers. We've done more than you can ever imagine with cucumbers with these two. And I've determined this is not a pickling cucumber, even when it's small. It's a little soft. It's not as firm. It's not as in depth of flavor as this type of cucumber. But that said, it's a great cucumber, and it makes a great cucumber salad. I'm gonna take a bite. Here, let me just take a bite right out of the middle. Okay. Definitely tastes like cucumber. Very light, as you would expect. Very light flavor. I'm going to compare it to this now. I'm going to finish that bite I took. That was a little too big of a bite. Alright. This is the variety called Sweet Slice. Okay, really not a whole lot of difference, to be honest. This has a little more flavor, or cucumber flavor. This has a little more of a melon, kind of a, I would venture to say, a little bit sweeter than the Sweet Slice. A little more chewy, a little more firm. I'm going back to the Pearl now. It has more of a water content or moisture content. A little less moist. I tell you, there's not really, when you taste the two side by side, there's not a big difference. Not a big difference. But I will tell you, when it comes to pickling, there's a major difference. I pickled some of these. I made spears with these and pickled them with the store-bought pickling pack, and followed the directions and went through the whole process with both of these. When it comes to pickling, these blow away the Pearl. But as far as a fresh cucumber, just a fresh flavor, these are really good. Okay, a little more moist, a little less, meat compared to the seeds. They've got a lot of seeds compared to this guy. A lot more meat, a little more flavor, less seeds. If I had my choice, these would be the guys. But the difference between the two, the biggest difference, is productivity. I mean, these guys just keep coming and coming, and I mean, they're so prolific. I've never grown a cucumber in my life that put out so many fruit and so fast, and they've grown so big at such a rate. Like I said, we are picking these things day in and day out. We've given away to everybody we know. We can't eat enough of them. I've brought sacks full to the local firehouse twice now, within just a couple weeks. Just sacks full. I'm talking, 16 to 18 of these guys per, visit. And of course, they make them into a big cucumber type salad with vinegar and spices and stuff, and they love it. And they are really good for that. They really are good for that. Looking for a pickling type cucumber, something you're going to pickle. Obviously, you want to go with something much smaller. Get them when they're little and really firm. Same with the Sweet Slice. But these are both pretty much slicing type cucumbers. They're meant to be ate fresh or with some vinegar or whatever and spices. So there's my review of the Pearl cucumber. Thanks for watching.